So you were all NCC Defensive Player of the Year, Coach Academic All-Star Award, which you're one of the 24 players in the state who received that award, IFCA All-State, Post-Tribune First Team All-Area, Region Sports Network First Team All-Area. You led the region in tackles with 155. That put you 14th in the whole state of Indiana, and you signed to play Division I football at Valpo University.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot.
Bro.
I was like he can't prepare for that one.
Bro, I had to write it down. I'm like, man, dude had a bunch of accolades this year, but that just shows, the type of season that you've had and the type of player you are. So we definitely want to come, to Highland and highlight, the successful things you've done within your football career. So.
All season, I can dominate all season, put in work in the all season, so I can dominate all season, put in work in the all season, so I can dominate all season, put in work.
We back, it's a new year, first episode of the year. We here at Highland High School with linebacker Nick JOHNSEN, and I'll give you a quick introduction real quick, just read off, some of your accolades so the people know who you are. So you were all NCC Defensive Player of the Year, Coach Academic All-Star Award, which you're one of the 24 players in the state who received that award, IFCA All-State, Post-Tribune First Team All-Area, Region Sports Network First Team All-Area. You led the region in tackles with 155. That put you 14th in the whole state of Indiana, and you signed to play Division I football at Valpo University.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot.
Bro.
I was like he can't prepare for that one.
Bro, I had to write it down. I'm like, man, dude had a bunch of accolades this year, but that just shows, the type of season that you've had and the type of player you are. So we definitely want to come, to Highland and highlight, the successful things you've done within your football career. So
I really appreciate that. I really thank you guys for taking the time to do an episode on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, thank you for coming to the platform. Like I said, we like to highlight a lot of the players within the area and definitely within the region. And I know we got TJ on here a while back, but it's good to get another player that's going to be in the region. And you're going to be playing with TJ at Valpo, so that's going to be a good thing to see. But really, we just want to, put a highlight on a lot of players that's in the area and then in the state of Illinois and Indiana. So we really do appreciate you for coming to the platform and blessing it. So how you feeling? You was just talking about how, with it being the second semester of school, you just ready to I'm about ready to be gone.
I'm ready to get out of here. With this is my first time not having a sport going on because I played basketball my first 3 years of high school, and now I decided not to, just to focus on getting in the gym just to be 100% ready to play football at that level next year. So I'm just ready to get out of here. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to get going on football season again.
Yeah, I feel it because you mentioned that you played basketball the other years, so this year is probably just something new to you. Like you said, going home at 3:00 is like,
sir.
Whoa, like I'm usually in basketball right now. But what was it like the other years? Just playing basketball and transitioning from football over to basketball.
It was crazy. There was really no break because even after basketball season, I would just go right back into off-season lifts for football. Mm-hmm. But it was nice. It was nice to keep busy. It feels nice to go home at 3:00 for maybe about a week, and then you just kind of get bored. I'm staying busy, going to the gym every day, doing things like that, but it's not the same as being around a group of guys and really having people around me to push myself.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so what are like a lot of your teammates doing the same thing, like preparing for the next level as far as like playing in college, or are you the only one right now that's officially playing in college?
I'm the only one right now that's officially playing in college out of the guys that are on my team here this year. I know a couple of them have some looks from some schools. Hopefully they get into college, but I'm not 100% sure yet on any of them.
Okay. Yeah, so just to talk a little bit about, the preparation and getting ready to go to the next level. I know you said, like, instead of playing basketball or another sport, you just decided to, focus on the next level. Like, what does that consist of as far as your schedule goes, like training, or, like, what are you doing right now to prepare yourself?
So right now I'm definitely, lifting at least 5 days a week. Also making sure to do something active every day, whether that's I've been jump roping every day for sure, but also just things like running the hoop to keep my edge rush skills sharp, doing other stuff, doing more explosive work, just every day in the gym, doing things like that.
Okay.
How tall are you?
6'3", 6'4".
6'3", 6'4". Yeah, because I was looking at like videos. I'm like, he don't seem that big, and then I seen him in person. I'm like, whoa,
Yes,
snap,
sir.
he actually is kind of big.
For sure.
So with being
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4", like, do you think it's more weight that you could possibly put on when you're going into college with being the edge?
Right now I'm sitting at about 225, and the season I played, I started probably the season around 215, and then by the end of it, lost a couple pounds just from all the practices and games. So I was probably sitting around 210. I've been eating like crazy with all that. With all the I've been eating right too. I've been
Eating
on a
right.
good-
That's the
that's
most
the main
important.
thing.
And if you stand in the gym, I think that's even more better
So
too.
keeping my speed up too. Just what I was saying earlier. Just making sure that I'm doing cardio stuff every day. Making sure that I'm doing stuff that'll translate directly to the game. So I don't, I stay. How should I put that? I stay ahead of the game.
Yeah, got you.
Definitely good to stay ahead of the game. In regards to the season, let's recap that a little bit. What were some things and highlights that you like to take from the season?
So obviously, I think that the best part of our year every year is beating our rival MUNSTER, which we did every year
You
when I was in
mentioned
high
that.
school. And it was the craziest game this year, going into overtime, and then we scored, they scored, they went for two, and we stuffed them. That was not even just like the best moment this year, but that I've ever had playing football. Just to end my senior year with a win like that.
And a
against
defensive
rivals.
stop
Yeah,
too.
defensive
Like
stop,
defensive
yeah,
stop.
it
You
was-
shot on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
1 yard line. So
Mhm.
they were going for the 2-point conversion on the touchdown to win the game by 1 point. And we had a guy go offsides first. So, but I'm telling you, we were happy that they were going for two because we knew
Mhm.
we were stopping them. It didn't even matter that they got the
That
yard.
confidence.
Right.
That guy didn't. Their running back didn't. He didn't go an inch past the line of scrimmage.
No.
It was instantaneously.
And Munster had a good running back this year too.
Yeah, he
like
was-
I think he
he was
led
really
the region
solid.
in rushing yards.
Yes, sir.
DJ, I think
Wow.
his name is. So yeah, for sure. That's a big stop. So have you played varsity all 4 years? Like when did you start playing varsity?
Yes. So halfway through my freshman year, I started to play varsity. I played a couple freshman games. We didn't have a JV team when I was a freshman, so I was on freshman ball. But then it was I'll tell you the story. It was crazy.
All right,
so
go
We
ahead.
got time.
so we were all at home for COVID that freshman year, that first football season. And my coach sent me a text. I didn't have his number saved, and he just said, "Come to the school ASAP." And I responded with, I was like, "Who's this?" And he said, "This is Coach K. You're starting tonight." And I was like, I was.
Wait. Let me pause you. Whoa. Time out.
I was telling him the story the other day.
Wait, so you were at home?
Yes, because we were still all e-learning.
Okay, still e-learning. So this is during COVID. So I'm trying to understand
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
You were at home.
It was right after the school day got out, so
Uh-huh.
it was probably right at about 3 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And our report time was probably 4:30. And at that time, all the freshmen dressed for the varsity games because we didn't have a JV team.
Mhm.
Now, the last 3 years it was a little different where they wouldn't dress; they would just go to the freshman games. But it was
Went
crazy.
home, chilling, and then you got a text saying you starting tonight.
Yes.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so walk us back. Finish the story. My bad. I was just.
Yeah, it was. So I just finished up my last Google Meet for the day, and I saw the notification on my phone, and it was right at we get out of school at 2:40, so it was right at 2:40, and it just said come to the school ASAP, and I was so confused at first, and I mean thankfully I responded.
That could have
Right.
been anything.
Right,
That could've been
exactly.
Somebody
Yeah.
random like, yo, at school right now. But it was the coach. So
Yeah, it was awesome. I
So
mean,
so how did you perform? Because usually when guys get brought up, they're prepared way in advance. They usually may
Exactly.
have practiced with the team the
I
whole
did
week.
practice with the
Oh, so
varsity.
you did practice with
But
the team.
I didn't
so
know that I was going to. So we
Okay.
actually had our starting middle linebacker had gotten COVID. That's why this had happened.
okay,
Mm.
And the
okay.
coach was just finding out at that moment. So immediately after that, I was in the coach's office for probably the next 2 to 3 hours.
Mhm.
And we were just going over film. We were playing Griffith. And it was just, we were going over film, everything that they did, all their tendencies, like their tells. And I went out there and I did pretty well.
Yeah, as a freshman too, and last minute, like
Exactly.
what?
Yeah, I did force a fumble that game.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So that probably led to
That solidified my spot. after that.
Did you continue to? Was that the only game you played as a freshman that year, or did you continue to play on
I
varsity
played
after that? Okay,
Continued to play.
and you
So-
started too?
Yes. So
Oh, wow.
I had played a little before. That was the first sectional game. So we won that game, and then I played the next week against. I believe that it was.
Wait, so it was a playoff?
Right, it was a playoff
playoffs.
game.
Oh,
yeah,
dang!
that's
So you
crazy.
not only was
Yeah.
it last minute, but you
Yeah.
performed in a playoff game.
So I
as
had
a
started
freshman.
to get some time, like midway through the year, but that was playing outside linebacker, and this was middle linebacker. So it was completely, not completely different, but it was, different tells, different things, different reads. Yeah, it was the craziest experience of my life.
Yeah, but that probably led to like confidence in you from your coaching,
Yes,
because
sir.
not only was you asked to come up at the drop of a dime, but you performed.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, I just have to take a second to say, Coach K, the coach here, is the best coach ever.
yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
Shout out
He's-
Coach K.
Yeah, shout
sure.
out Coach K.
For sure. Yeah. So, when did this journey start for you? I mean, obviously we're here now. You're a senior. You signed Division I. Where did this journey start for you? Like, was this always the goal for you? Did you always want to play football, or did it just so happen to happen this way?
So, growing up, I always wanted to play basketball as long as I could. I was a basketball player. I played AAU every year, all the way up until the year after the summer after my freshman year was my last AAU season. But it was about 6th grade when I was talking to the middle school coaches, and he said, "Dude, you're huge. You need to come play football." And I wanted to
usually how
play
it start,
football.
right?
Yeah.
I wanted to play football anyways, but I'd always been too heavy. I was a bigger kid. So I'd always been too heavy to play Pop Warner. They wanted to play me up, and my parents didn't really want me to play up 2 years, 3 years with kids that are that much older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little rough start at first, but by the time, I'd say 6th and 7th grade may have been a little rough. But then, 8th grade, I was scoring 3 touchdowns a game. I had a great year. And then by the time freshman year came around, I was completely sold on football. And although I still loved basketball, I knew that football was my true passion. That's what I wanted to continue. And I wanted to play football as long as I possibly could.
So what do you think made you realize that? Was it the intensity of the game?
Definitely.
Or definitely the intensity
Definitely
of
the
the game?
intensity of the game.
Okay. And then growing up, playing Pop Warner, were you both sides of the ball, or was it just
I didn't
one
play
side?
Pop Warner. I didn't play until
Oh,
6th grade.
6th grade.
I was too heavy to play Pop Warner with my own age
That's
group.
what you just said, yeah.
And then so I played up. My parents didn't want me to play up, so I just waited until middle school, and then I got that first shot. I loved it. I would say that what really sold me on football was obviously the intensity of the game, and ultimately that it's really the biggest team sport. Like, you have to have 11 guys on the same page. You have one guy on the same that's not on the same page, he's letting up a touchdown.
Yep.
You have to have so much faith in your guys.
Especially in defensive coverage and stuff like that, or
Yes, sir.
receiver routes, having that chemistry with the quarterback, or even the lineman.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Protection, passing protection and run protection and all that other stuff. So yeah, definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So you always was on both sides of the ball, even when you first started, or was that just more like
Once
high
I got
school?
to 7th grade, I'd
Once
say
to
I
7th
was
grade, okay.
I was playing both sides of the ball.
Which one you like better?
Defense, for sure. It's not. I love playing offense.
You was scoring touchdowns as a kid. It's cool and all.
It was cool, but I think it's so much cooler to just hit somebody so hard.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Something about it, ain't it?
Yeah. It's that grit.
F.A. don't know nothing
Yeah,
about
bro.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
He receiver guy.
Offensive side of the ball. You know what I mean? I like scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, I like scoring touchdowns too, but it's not the same. It's not the same as a big stop. Yeah.
Is this the time for offense wins championships debate or defense
Bro,
wins?
That's not even a debate.
That's not even a
It's not even a
debate, bro.
debate.
You cannot win the championship
so hold on,
without a
wait.
defense.
So
Without a great
So when
defense.
Michigan just beat Washington,
They
was
had a
it-
phenomenal
was it-
defensive
what-
performance.
No, but what about the run? What about
Okay.
the touchdowns that
Okay,
they
so
scored?
this is proving my point exactly, right? Washington couldn't stop the run the whole game,
Right,
Which
but
is
they
the
did stop the run. For the second and third, with the second half, they stopped the run. They went from
For like
averaging
a
like
little bit.
16 yards a carry to like 6 yards a carry.
They made a slight adjustment, but when they at the end of the game, how did Michigan really seal the deal at the end of the game? They scored a
Defense.
touchdown.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about they ran a touchdown because they scored the touchdown. Yeah, exactly.
That's Washington's
I'm
defense.
telling you. And then the way Michigan defense was playing.
Yeah, Michigan defense was playing.
game.
No,
they set the tone.
No, they did. They held up even with J.J. McCarthy, like not having a big game passing the ball.
They barely let him pass the ball the whole game.
But Washington had no chance at winning the game because guess what? Washington's secondary played well. Like they weren't giving up big shots to Michigan either. It was just a run game, and when they stopped the run game, they had chance. It was 10-17 going in, like after half, bro. They were very well in that game after they stopped the run, but they just couldn't get any offense going. That's the thing. Like,
why couldn't they get any offense going?
Because of the Michigan defense. But guess what? There are always holes in the defense no matter what. There's always something in the defense that you can attack. So I don't look at it as maybe I'm just an offensive coach. You know what I'm saying? But there's always something that you can attack within the defense. It's always going to be a lapse and there's always going to be a weakness in the defense that you can attack. They didn't execute. Y'all gonna make me really get into this, but playing that they was doing that. They had split field coverage, right? They were taking that whole shot. They missed it twice, I think. They missed that shot, and they finally got it. I think it was the 15 minutes in the third quarter. They finally executed. They hit the whole shot, but it was nothing else after that. Like Washington they were living in the flats. They were living on the edge. They could not get anything going. It was all zone runs. It was screens, which worked well in the first half a little bit, but they just couldn't get anything going offensively. They just couldn't get it going, bro.
And why couldn't they get it going?
Bro, Michigan did a great job defensively.
Exactly. Michigan set the tone.
Yeah, they did.
On defense.
I think they set the tone on offense. I think offense set the tone. That's what set the tone. Look, we all thought. Hold on, wait. After the first run, the first touchdown is like okay, but then the second one is like okay, this might get a little ugly because that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, man, this game is about to get out of hand running the ball.
What do you think, Nick? What's your opinion on defense and winning championships? Because we defensive guys over here. We gotta outdo this offensive
in the Michigan game specifically, I think that it was Michigan's defense.
Yeah.
Just because how good of a quarterback Penix is, and they were able to limit him like that.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, definitely.
Penix was a Heisman candidate.
How much pressure they put on him?
A lot. Yeah, they had him pressured a lot.
They hurt him. They hurt him pretty bad. By the end of the game, he was.
Yeah, he was.
They weren't even. Man, those D-lines.
And it was those guys up front.
Yeah,
it was those guys up front.
And then, but even me just watching the secondary, like they even those coverages they were showing, like they were running man, they were running coverage, like they were just in so many different sets and giving them so many different looks.
Look,
no.
Was the defense or was the offense?
I'm an offensive coach, but the defense was great, bro. Like that D-line is amazing.
Bama.
No, that defense is great.
That's how they won the Bama game too.
That's how they won the Bama game. How did they win the Bama game? No. What was the last play of the game in OT? How did they win the Bama game? They had the defensive stop. Come on now.
No, it's true. No.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't know about that play call, but
the play call was bad, but still, you have to stop it. My thing is this, right? It's like offense. I'm not negating the fact that offense has a factor to play as well because you have to score in order to win championships. In order to win a game. Forget championship. You have to score in order to win a game.
Right.
But your defense has to play a major factor in that as far as being an enforcer. You know what I'm saying? So when you saying Michael Penix wasn't able to get the ball off and he was struggling on the offensive end, why was that?
No, it was the defense. But what I'm saying is just that second half, they limited Michigan a lot up until the fourth quarter where they started doing some boot action stuff or whatever.
What does it matter
but
most,
they had to score the ball. That's what I'm getting at. They had to score. They did not score the ball. Yeah, because of Michigan's defense. But like I said, there's always ways to attack it. Like there were a lot of times that they just didn't execute. Like it wasn't that it was Michigan's defense so well because some of the corner, the right side corner wasn't tackling well. They were moving the ball through screens. They had shots that they could have executed, but they didn't. So that's why I look at the game changes if they would have just executed more on those plays, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But hey, it's just gonna be a lifelong debate for me. You know what I'm saying? But
we know what
we know where the ball is.
I played in high school too, and come on now, like
it's the defense. The defense wins games.
For sure.
Win games and championships. Like offense. What's the saying? Is it a saying like offense win game, defense wins championships or something?
Yeah, that's the saying.
Something like that. But
that's
yeah.
what they say.
So that was a little rant.
Yeah, you're a little rant off topic, but no, back to you though.
But back in high school, I mean, you mentioned that you were on both sides of the ball like this year, right? Was it all through high school?
Yes, all. So sophomore year is when I first started playing almost every play.
Mm-hmm.
Freshman year, I didn't really play any tight end. I was just playing strictly defense. But for the last 3 years, I really never got a break off the field. Maybe like 3-4 plays a game max.
Yeah. That's high school football for you. The
That
top
is.
guys, they
The top
never
guys
get off
always-
the field.
Laquan Trevor I was just having a conversation about Laquan Trevor the other day. He stayed on the field. When
He
we
was
in high
he
school.
did punt, he kicked
Everything.
off, he did everything. Yeah, so
Even in sets when we ran spread, I would play slot.
oh
so
really?
I I never came off this year.
Oh my gosh! So you
So-
was probably like in crazy shape.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes,
ask
most
that, like, what
definitely.
would you do to? I'm guessing really the game is preparing you for that, like because there's no way to replicate that. But
Yeah,
did
there's
you do
nothing.
anything to prepare yourself, knowing that all right, I'm gonna be on? If we taking 150 snaps, I'm on 145 of them. Like you
I
know
would
what
say
I mean?
just training with so much intensity, like that game like intensity
Yeah.
all summer. I feel like we had such a great group of guys that allowed me to, and the coaches, the defensive coordinator. I know I shouted out Coach K earlier, but Coach Miller,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's crazy. These drills that he has us do, he's awesome. He's a great coach. He really taught me everything.
A lot of that
You know,
helped. So a lot of
yeah.
that helped in your development.
Yeah, so he was the linebacker coach and the D coordinator, and he taught me everything. So he's really probably the main reason I'm going on to play at the next
that's
level.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of athletes need, like from the coaching staff. And you know, that's one thing that probably irritates me the most when I hear is that like certain athletes who have the opportunity or have the skill to play at the next level, they don't get to because they don't have the coaches helping them. Like just in the climate that we're in right now with college football, college sports in general, and recruiting, I think it's more prevalent now that we need coaches to really push and figure out what's going on because times are changing. And
Yes,
if you
definitely.
don't adjust and
And
adapt,
it's a quicker
then-
game too.
Yeah,
like you don't
bro.
even got to
It
be
gets
as
quicker every
like.
year.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You don't even got to be as like stock. I remember when I was like in middle school, and we seen like a lot of the high school guys that play like middle linebacker because my brother played for Brother Rice, and they play like the Mount Carmels and the St. Rita's and
Yeah.
all of the good schools. And I remember seeing the linebackers. Not only was they wearing like neck braces, but still it was like they was stocky,
Yeah.
and big. And
Now they have
stuff.
to be a little bit
Steve
faster.
Steve Filer was one of them. He played with my brother for Dalton Bears, but they played against each other when Steve Filer was at Mount Carmel. My brother was at Brother Rice, and even Steve Filer, he was a big guy. But now, like when you seeing it now in the high school level, a lot of it they like a lot slimmer,
Yeah.
but they're a lot quicker.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
like
a different-
way quicker. So
Yeah.
it's a different game.
There's
and
so
like
many
you
more
were saying,
things you have to be able to react
Yeah,
to.
definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially with different offensive styles too.
Yep.
The defensive, like the offense is definitely getting faster.
Yeah.
So the defense got to get
Yeah,
faster. You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So-
Yep. A lot of those positions are like becoming hybrid positions
Yep,
on
exactly.
fields.
Yes.
Like they wanted linebackers that could play in coverage, and you turn into those rovers, you know, those safety guys. So yeah, just a different
Exactly.
style of play. And I just feel like, all in all, the coaches have to do a better job at preparing you guys for the next level. It's like if you're playing in high school and you're running a wishbone or triple option, you know what
It's
I mean?
crazy.
Like
Every
yeah,
week
you know what I
something
mean?
different.
It's something different,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just certain offensives that translate over to the next level, defensively and offensively. And you should be kind of try to run those things so that when your athletes go to the next level, they can adapt quicker. Like, okay, I did this in high school, or at least have a sense of what this is
Yeah,
versus
they're not a
just
step behind.
yeah, exactly. So that's good that you have a staff here that's really prepared you to go to the next level.
And we
I-
had a really balanced offense. So we ran some spread stuff. We
Okay.
ran some, normal stuff with a tight end when I'd play tight end, and we also ran some two back. Like,
okay.
so we had a lot of different things that all I think translate directly over to
Yeah.
the next level.
That's good.
Most definitely. So going to the next level, you gonna still be doing the edge stuff, like being the
Yes.
edge.
Yes,
Okay.
I have talked to the coach a little bit. So originally he was recruiting me as a tight end. That's what my original offer was for tight end. When I first
How
showed
did
up
it switch over?
throughout the season, just him seeing the crazy numbers and stuff like that. But he's not opposed to, not right away, but he's not opposed to playing me both sides.
That's what I was about to
eventually.
ask next. I'm like, are you going to be playing like both
So,
sides?
do you guys think that's because I mean we're seeing that more now where athletes are just so diverse? Like, because at one point, I mean, in high school, people play both sides of the ball quite often.
Yeah.
But I think
It's a
now
common thing.
athletes are more skilled now to where it's like you can play both sides, but you could play both sides in college too. And I don't know if it'll go to the NFL, but do you think we'll see more of that now? More guys playing both sides,
Like Travis Hunter?
like
Yes, I was
Travis
just gonna
Hunter.
say
You know what I
Travis
mean?
Hunter.
Like
I
more
definitely
guys,
think-
because I think it's a lot of people. I'm not saying that Travis Hunter isn't special, but I think there are athletes that can probably do it. Not to his level, but I think athletes could play both sides of the ball. So
What you think?
I think he just sort of set the precedent.
yeah,
I think that there were definitely guys that could, maybe not to his ability before,
right,
or even, that's a Power 5 level,
yeah,
but guys going to, like me going to an FCS level school, it's Division I football, not quite as high of a level as a Power 5, but I still think that there's plenty of guys that can
Yeah.
Go run both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just give you a better opportunity, especially being at FCS level. Like playing both sides of the balls is just like you said. You first got recruited as a tight end, and then as the season went on, you got recruited as a edge. It's like, oh snap! So it's like even from that perspective of playing at that level, the next level, and you on both sides of the ball, you never know what you can be getting scouted for. You can get scouted for being the tight end, or you can get scouted for being on the defensive end. So it really just makes yourself more marketable at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And I think with Travis Hunter setting the precedent, you're going to see a lot of guys doing that because, like we just said, the game is getting a lot faster, so you don't need to be as bulky.
Right.
And then when you're able to play both sides of the ball, that makes you more marketable, more like, yo, this is what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
I can do it both. I make sure I stay in shape for both, making sure I'm staying healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Mess with me.
Yeah, Travis Hunter doing it definitely probably is motivating people to want to do
Most
it. If they
definitely.
weren't doing it, they probably want to do it now because they just saw what he did. And it's possible, you know what I mean?
He's just the first one of many.
I think you just got to be really built a different way though. Like you have to have a high motor because it's not something that's easy to do. Like what Travis Hunter did is like I said, I'm not saying that he's not special. What he did was very special. But bro, like you got to be built a certain type of way to have that type of production on both sides of the ball. You know, so yeah, I'm excited to see who's the next one to do it. You know, but I think it's gonna be a lot more. I think it's gonna be a lot more for sure.
Yeah. Nick, you mentioned some injuries that you were battling during the season, and you played both ways. Did that kind of like affect any of your play or anything like that with the injuries?
I don't think so. So I just had something minor with my shoulder, which I'm almost completely recovered from now. But I think that I didn't even have any sort of idea that anything was really wrong with my shoulder. I'm glad that I caught it quick before it became anything major, and now it was just a 4 to 6 week recovery. So I'm just really happy I caught it early, and I don't want to be like I was bad. I was also doing this because I didn't even know. I didn't even really know that I had anything wrong up in my shoulder. So
you also mentioned before we got on camera, you mentioned another injury with an ACL. Was it your sophomore year?
Sophomore year playing basketball. I tore my ACL. I believe that it was in a holiday tournament. I think it was on New Year's Eve. So then I had the surgery January, and I was back August for football, and I truly was better than ever. Like,
What you think led to that?
Just, I mean, every night, like, I would think to myself, I'd be like, people's careers end over like a knee injury like this, and I just didn't want to be. That couldn't be. I knew that wasn't the end of my story. I knew that I was going to be better, and I think that the craziest thing is I think that I came back faster. Just from all the physical therapy and stuff like that, and the extra work that I put in.
Came back pretty quick too.
Yes, sir.
Usually
it's about 9 months, but I was 7 months exactly.
Yeah, some situations it could be a year.
Yeah.
So, do you think the way you ate, or was it just the way you tackled physical therapy that kind of led to that speedy recovery?
I think that it was a little bit of both. I mean, there was a method behind everything I was doing. Really, I was researching what are the best things to be eating, what are, how far can I push it without sort of putting myself at risk for re-injury. And I think that at the time I returned, I knew that I was 100% again.
Okay. And then even after the football season, coming back into that, so you would be coming back into your junior season after tearing your ACL sophomore year?
Yes, so I was coming into junior season football.
Even ending the football season and going into basketball, you think you came back better for basketball as well?
Definitely, because I think I just came back more athletic overall.
So what made, like, ultimately, you may have mentioned this earlier on, but what made you stop playing? What led to the decision of not playing basketball this year?
I just really wanted to focus on being. I feel like sometimes during the basketball season, I would miss out on some of the like training aspects of the off season for football, and I think that it definitely kept me in good shape. And I do miss playing basketball, but I think it was just a better decision for me just to,
be all in on football.
Be all in on football and avoid any injuries during the basketball season. So I really think that I made the right decision because I've definitely been keeping my stamina and my cardio up, doing stuff every day that I'd be, keeping the same stuff up at basketball, and I'm not too sore to lift legs. I can still have myself on a really good workout split and do stuff that's all going to translate directly to football.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that was definitely a good decision.
Yeah.
I know sometimes I've seen people freaking natures like Laquan Treadwell. He give us buckets. Oh, not buckets. He give us a bunch of points in football, and then he come to basketball, do the same thing. It's like crazy, but it's definitely a good decision to take some time and be all in on football because,
yes, sir.
You young guy and take care of your body, but you can come way 10 times better the next season, your freshman year at Valpo.
Yep.
Definitely.
Speaking of like next year, what do you think is some things that you need to work on, like going into college? I mean, obviously you dominated, at the high school level, but what do you think is going to take your game to the next level where it will translate and you'll be able to, have that same impact and production, in the college?
I definitely think that the biggest difference between the high school game and the college game is the speed.
Yeah,
for sure. Like just watching college games up close, it's definitely the speed. And I'm not really worried about it because I know that I'm training speed every day and I'm getting faster every day. So I'd say that the biggest thing for me is as long as I'm getting faster, I think I'll be able to make that same impact at the college level.
Yeah, definitely. So let's walk through your recruitment. Just leading up to this point,
I forgot about the recruitment.
The whole recruitment. So were you seeing like interest early on? Because I mean, usually the athletes who play varsity as a freshman, they get the recruitment a lot earlier than everybody else because they only look at varsity. Like, so did you start getting some interest through your underclassmen years, or did you start later on?
I started getting stuff probably sophomore year.
Okay,
was the main. Was when it started coming in. I think I got a few things after my freshman season, but mainly sophomore year and after my sophomore year, which was the season where I couldn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I had some stuff from like some Power 5 schools, just like camp invites, things like that. But I think that I don't want to say that I was at a disadvantage because I think I came back stronger, but it would have been nice to be able to go to those camps and make connections.
Right.
But looking back on it, I wouldn't have changed a thing. I think that my injury really opened my eyes and allowed me to, train even harder. And it put me in a position where I'm so happy where I'm going next year now.
Yeah.
I mean, Valpo is just like really the perfect place. But hitting more on like the actual recruiting things, it was really weird because I was getting recruited as both a tight end and as an outside linebacker. And some schools wanted to make me a D end, and some schools wanted to make me outside linebacker, D-end, middle linebacker. So I was getting my first offer was my first Division I offer was from Valpo, and it was originally for tight end, like I said earlier, and then eventually it's kind of that edge rush D-end position. And Drake is another D1 school that offered me, and it was for D-end, but Ball State wanted to put me in the middle, which was a little bit different. I think I would have been able to figure it out, but I'm just happy that I'm going somewhere where I'm kind of playing the same position that I played all 4 years in high school.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I think that's super important, just going through your recruitment and you doing what's best for you. Like a lot of athletes don't do what's best for them. They may look at the name of the school or the coach of the school or what other people think they should go, but you made the decision that was best for you and what you think is going, allow you to have the best production and develop. So, yeah, a lot of athletes out there should take to that. Like, it doesn't matter, about the scholarship offer. It doesn't matter about the school, where it's at, what anybody else thinks. Like, when you're evaluating the recruiting process, it's about what's best for you because you're essentially – you will be there for the next 4 to 5 years.
And then after that, that degree or the way you play there, that really dictates what you do for the rest of your life.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Most definitely. You also mentioned something about how the coach played a big factor in choosing Valpo.
So both my position coach and the head coach of Valpo, they're both phenomenal coaches, and I think that is – I don't think that is the main reason why I chose to go there. So Coach Fox is the head coach, and then my position coach is Coach RJ. And Coach Fox has to be the most genuine coach I've ever talked to in my life. Like, he tells you how it is. Like, I heard him say specifically a couple times, like, if you don't like this, then this isn't the school for you, and I just love that. Like, he's
keeping it real with you.
He's not trying to cater to you. He wants to bring you in, and he only wants you if you're all in.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yep, that's how it's supposed to be. That's winning culture right there, not just taking anybody like, we could go after the best guys we could possibly find, but they may not be the fit for us. You know what I mean? So if this doesn't fit you, then this is not the place for you. We're not going to force it. So, that's great, So
I also love that it's a high academic school.
Yeah.
Because I have a 4.09 GPA. Yeah, I do well. I do well in this place.
I love talking to athletes that not only are they dominating the sport, So I didn't mean to cut you off, but not only did they dominate in the sport, but they also dominate in the classroom.
Yeah.
Because even when we talked to the kid from Kenwood, he was like, I got offers from
Calvin.
Ivy League schools.
Yeah,
I'm
Calvin,
like, bro,
yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah, and this is the point of this podcast, because we want to highlight and be able to talk to some of the top athletes in the area, in the country, wherever we may end up. But I think a lot of, I would call them the average athletes, think that it's just made, or you just get up and you just get these certain things. The best players in the country are also gifted academically. Like if you look at the best, the 4 or 5 stars, whatever they are, the best players, they're getting it done in the classroom. And I think a lot of athletes don't think that that's the reality. Like they think they can get 2.0s, barely get by, and still be on the type of level that you will be on, when it doesn't work like that. Like if you want to consider yourself as one of the best athletes in the country, that comes with the classroom too.
Yes.
You can't have one without the other.
I just don't think you can expect to kind of go through, school lackadaisical and then come out and perform on the field. I feel like
They go hand in hand.
they do go hand in hand, because if you're working hard, it's just training your mind to work hard at the sport as well.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, what else are you doing? Like, if your job is to go to school and play football and you're doing bad at one, like, what else are you doing then? Like, what else is more important than grades and football if that's what you're supposed to be doing, essentially?
Yes, sir.
So that means that you're doing something else that has nothing to do with what you're supposed to be doing. So maybe this isn't for you. Like Coach Fox would say, like, if you're not
getting it done in the classroom,
this is not
be
for
here.
you. So I just feel like if you're an athlete and you're not taking the classroom serious, then this is not for you. Like, go do something
Most
else. You
definitely.
know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely love, sitting down with athletes who are also academically gifted, because we need to shed a light on that and not just what you guys do like on the field, so.
Yeah, because essentially, I mean, it's going to get to a point that you can either, like, probably be playing football professionally, or you're going to have to get a job after that. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
And like what you mentioned, it all goes hand in hand. The work ethic is the whole thing behind it all. You know what I'm saying? Training your mind to work hard is going to translate on the field, and it's going to translate in the classroom.
And I think not only does, going through and getting great grades, doing so well in the classroom, not only does that benefit, you're playing football, but I think that playing football at such a high level and putting so much effort in that, I think that goes back and it teaches you to work hard in the classroom as well.
Yeah.
I think that it's not just one benefits the other. I think that they both benefit each other.
For sure.
Because if you can't handle what's going on in the classroom, how can the coach trust you to watch film?
Exactly. Or understand
Yes.
film.
Or understand
you know what I mean?
film.
Because
Exactly.
man,
Understand
it gets
concepts.
technical.
It does.
It gets really
It does.
technical. So
Sometimes you have to sit down. I know. I always break down film with my dad after games.
I was just about to ask you that. I'm like, you a big film guy?
I'm huge. I'm huge in film. I would at least an hour during the season, at least an hour a day, maybe more.
yeah.
Especially big game. I would get out my notebook, put the film on my TV, airplay it up there, and I would just hours, like, what are the tendencies?
Yeah.
What is the tackle that I'm going to have to be edge rushing off of? What does he do? What is his go-to move? How can I cut his face? How can I make him miss and get to the quarterback? It's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's
you did that with your dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
So your dad's, I'm assuming, doing that with your dad, he's a big support system as well.
Yeah, my parents are my parents and grandparents. My whole family is such a great support system for me to play football, and that's another reason why I love playing so close is they can all come out to my games every week.
Valpo ain't that far from here.
40 minutes. And yeah. I mean, my grandpa, he was talking to me. He's my biggest fan. He told me that no matter where I go, he'd get an RV, he'd come back again.
Grandparents going to make sure they're going to see their grandkids for sure.
That's
the
love.
best.
That's
He's the
love,
best.
man. Yeah. That's great to hear.
Yeah, definitely. You also mentioned, because since we're speaking about your family, you definitely mentioned that your family's a Bama.
My grandpa, yes.
Your grandpa.
My grandpa for sure. And then, I mean, the rest of us are a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously root for Alabama too, but not to the level that he does. He's got his whole Alabama man cave.
Is he from Alabama by chance?
No, but he did. So he's got a lot of family from there.
Oh,
and then he was there for a little bit and then came back here.
For sure.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Yeah, so I mean, he is from there a little bit because he was there for a while. And
Okay.
Yep. And so even with Alabama, we got the news today, that Nick Saban is
Saban's-
retiring.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
What do y'all think that means for Bama?
I still think they're going to be a powerhouse. I don't think they're going to be as good.
Mhm.
Maybe not right away. I know you were talking before we got on here about how you already saw that there were some 5 stars decommitted.
Yeah.
And the players have 30 days to hit the portal.
Yeah.
But I still think they're going to be it's still Alabama, even without
Yeah.
Nick Saban. Even though he is the GOAT of college football coaches, it's still Alabama without him.
Yeah, I was saying that because he mentored a lot of coaches, and one of them we mentioned is Kirby Smart, and he's had success at Georgia, and I'm pretty sure he left them in good hands with somebody.
Most
Like,
definitely.
I'm pretty sure the
Definitely.
person that's probably going to be the head coach is not going to be somebody that wasn't already a part of the program.
Yeah.
'Cause he's mentored so many guys. And it's like,
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying? He's the GOAT of college football.
They'll keep
coaching,
they'll
so.
keep the system the same way.
Yeah,
for sure.
most definitely.
Yeah, my thing is just everybody has to have their reign. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
everybody, it goes through. I mean, at some points, you know, the Ohio States they were reigning. You know, Miami was reigning. Like, everybody has their rise and their fall. And I just think this is probably not the fall of Alabama where they won't be relevant, but I just think it's a new, like, somebody new is going to come up. A new team is going to come up. Specifically, even me just saying Miami, like they're saying the U is back. So,
Rise,
you know,
fall, and
I've
then
heard.
repeat
yeah,
it
the
again.
repeat. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
rise,
So
fall, and repeat it
I
again.
just feel like with that presence being gone, like, it's Nick Saban. Like, you can have another great coach to come in, but it's not Nick Saban. And I feel like that's why even some recruits are even decommitting now, just because it's Nick. I came here to
They wanted
play.
to play for that
I
historic
came here
coach.
to play for that. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see how it unfolds. You know, but
Think it unfolds well for Deion Sanders? Y'all think a lot of them going to commit to
I'm not sure.
to Boulder?
I don't
Maybe.
know, man.
Colorado?
I think it's still very early. Like,
Yeah,
I think
it is
a lot of
very
people
early.
forget,
Season
like, this is
just
the
ended
first
Monday.
year. This is the
Yeah,
first
this is the first year
season
he
for
was
this.
here.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just feel like it's gonna come with, you know, just is progress over time. Like, nobody is just gonna change something overnight, you know, which it just seemed like everybody expected Deion Sanders to do. Was like, Colorado was supposed to compete for a national championship year one. Like, that would be crazy if they
What's
had
that
done
say?
that.
Rome wasn't built in a day, right?
Yeah,
That's what people
exactly.
say?
Yeah, you know, so
it'll take a couple years, but
yeah,
I think they
I
will
think they'll
definitely
get
be
there.
relevant
I think they just
if he
everything.
stays there for a while.
I think he will, and
I think he will too.
I think they'll have it. Like you said, in a couple years, 4 or 5 years, when they get a good structure and a good flow of people coming in and recruits, like, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's just being able to compete. I was just telling you guys off camera. I think now is probably the best time for college football than it's ever been. It's the most fair playing field where a lot of teams can be good now. A lot of teams can compete, and I think we'll see, like, how basketball is, where somebody new is going to win every year. Like, I don't know who's going to win next year. We can't say Georgia's going to win. We can't say Alabama's going to win. We can't say Michigan is even going to repeat, because I just feel like everybody's just getting so much better with the climate
Everyone's
that
getting
we're
so much
in.
more even.
Yes,
It's not just one
yes,
team anymore.
exactly.
And,
So
and especially with the new playoffs, actually a legit actual college football playoffs being introduced with the 12 teams, 4 teams, top 4 teams getting a bye, and then they playing it from there. How do y'all think has an effect on leveling the playing field? Because I know we mentioned a little bit about how the NILs off camera, about how the NILs kind of level the playing field, but what do y'all think the 12-team playoff does with at least giving teams that, you know, never was even close to being in the top 4? Now it's the top 12.
They have an opportunity to compete for the championship. I think that it gives these schools that maybe had 3 losses, maybe we're dealing with injuries throughout the year. It really gives them a chance to upset somebody and make a run for championship, whereas they wouldn't even be considered.
Exactly.
And it will never
Take your bowl game and get out of here.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I think that with the 12-team playoff, we'll never see what happened. Obviously, Florida State and Georgia, that didn't end up pretty for Florida State.
Exactly.
But it will.
They were hurt though.
They were.
And it was a lot of guys that didn't play in that game also, right?
Yes, there were a lot of guys that either went pro or hit the portal.
Yep. So,
but that'll never happen again, where a team goes undefeated and doesn't make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a really nice thing.
Yeah. Yep. So and I think it'll just add a more exciting element to college football, you know, because the bowl games is like whatever, you know, we it's kind of certain bowl games that we all watch, but now we'll watch all 12 that's in, you know, and 14 teams that's in. So I think it'll just add for, you know, just more entertaining playoffs.
I think they'll get more ratings than the NFL next year, to be honest. And I'm only saying that is because of, one, football is obviously the most watched sport in America.
Definitely.
But 2, it's the inaugural season of it.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
This is the
first
season
one.
that we got to see how this is going to be, because everybody's been asking for it for forever. When I first started watching college football, I'm like, why is there only the top 2 teams that can make it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then when they decided to expand it, like 10 years, it's hard to think that was 10 years ago. But when they decided to expand it to the 4 team, I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Right. But it's
when
still
they gonna push it to,
right.
When they gonna push it to more, because
definitely
we already knew the top 2 wasn't enough, and then when they even did 4, we was like, all right, that gives us something. But even that's not enough.
Right.
Now we're like, now we need more. I think it's gonna get to a point they may add 2 more to make it 14, the same as the NFL. So we'll see. I definitely think they're gonna get the most ratings though next year. What do y'all think about that?
I agree. I think they're going to get a lot.
Yeah.
Just because I think people are a lot more diehard college fans than even NFL fans.
Yeah.
And it's just a more exciting game. Like, it's a lot more elements to the
Conference
college
shifts
football
and
game,
everything.
like the rivalries, like you said, the conferences. You got college game day. You got the crowd. You got everything about college football is just more entertaining than the NFL. To me, personally, like, I would rather watch that.
Got Oregon, Washington, and USC joining the Big Ten.
Man.
That's gonna be
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, and
That's a
then
tough
hold on,
conference.
wait. Then college
Oklahoma.
football coming back, the video
yeah,
game.
video game,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Did you used to play that as it? Because I know we probably got a little age. on
No,
it.
I've played a little bit, but I didn't play it like growing
We
up.
used to play that. Campus Legend
bro.
was
yeah,
the thing. man.
yeah.
So,
And then you could like export it over to like Madden, like your bro.
exactly.
Yeah.
Export your player over to that.
Uh-huh,
So,
yeah,
it's,
so-
gonna, it's gonna be different, man.
Yeah, I
It's
think
definitely
awesome.
I think
exciting,
this will be
though.
a big year for college football. Like, I'm excited,
sure.
and I really want to be locked in this year because I feel like I haven't the past couple years really been locked in to like the whole season
I'm
from
locked in
start
now.
to end. But this year, we for sure like I'm
I
locked
think
in.
I've been locked in the last couple of years for sure. Maybe that's because my Bears haven't been playing
oh
too
my
well.
goodness. I mean,
But
Do we keep Justin Fields? Or do we get
I was
rid of
just
him?
gonna say that.
We gotta
Look,
keep him.
look,
We gotta keep him.
yeah, okay,
I love
okay,
Justin
yeah.
Fields. I think
Why do you think we should keep him? And I think we should keep him too. By the way,
I think so too.
recently he's looked like he's shown a lot of improvement, definitely. Because people were saying originally he couldn't throw the ball, and the last couple games I think that he's proved that he can throw the ball and he can think, and he knows when to escape. I think early in the year he was taking a lot of sacks that he really should have thrown the ball away, and yeah, there were still a few of those towards the end of the year, but it was a lot less common, for sure.
I agree. I think definitely keep him and draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and really build around the guy because, I mean, his main weapons are Cole Kmet and really DJ Moore. But I think what led to the question that's in the air, we got to call it out what it is, bro. The coaching didn't really put him in good spots, good positions to win. How do you take a guy that almost has the single-season rushing record for a quarterback the year before, because that was his success came from, and then you come into the season and you don't build off of that, you decide to try to make him a pocket passer for the first 3 games again. How do you do that and then expect him to have success? They say he's holding the ball too long. Yes, but if you see in the play calls, they're trying to make him a pocket passer.
Right.
Why are you trying to make this guy a pocket passer? And then when they started bringing his legs back in, he's torching the Bengals, even though he had a fumble that kind of cost us the game and things like that. But you see the whole game, how he played.
But I think
this is his game.
just how I mean, the Bears started off so rough this year. Was it lost their first 4, right? And
Stressed.
Bro, that's every
Stress.
Bears fan. Like, so
Stress.
talk like,
It was
nah.
stress.
And then don't bring up the Packers. It's
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But
was-
they
that was a
lost.
tough game.
It was a tough
4.
start.
And I feel like once Justin Fields started to kind of come around, then the record came around with him as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got to think, a lot of games they should have won.
They were right
definitely-
in there
They
with
should have
every-
swept Detroit this
Yes,
year.
yes.
They should have won that
And the Lions
Browns
are a great
game.
team.
Yeah.
And we should have swept them this year, which
Yeah.
is
They
I
should have
think
won
that
that
just
Browns
is a true
game.
testament to how much potential the Bears truly
Exactly.
have.
And then the defense turned it around, especially when we got Montez Sweat. Turned it around.
He's tough.
Yeah.
He is.
I thought Eberflus
He's
did
a baller.
a very good job with the defense. So, yeah, we definitely keep him.
Definitely
And we
keep-
just build off of it. And it's just going to be tough because I know he's going to have to learn a new offense. I think, did we just get rid of Luke Getsky today, but we keep it
Yes.
Eberflus?
Yes.
So he's going to have to learn a new offense, but I will hope that they're bringing in somebody that's going to continue to build off of the offensive style that he's been running.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know
that
what I'm
dual
saying?
threat.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
he can throw the ball too, and you give him
Yeah.
you give him another weapon in Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
And
Ohio
maybe-
State, another fellow
Yep,
Ohio State
yep.
man.
I mean, they're saying that he's the best receiver recruit in 10 years.
He's the once in a generation.
You have
Because
to-
everybody
you
want
have
to talk
to
about
draft him.
Caleb Williams. I get it. He's a
And I don't think he fits Chicago.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to
and
be
he-
here, so I
and
don't want
here's
him
the
here.
thing.
You know what I mean?
For me, my perspective is not on field or coaching. My perspective is an organizational standpoint. I feel like the Bears' problem is much deeper than any player or any coach. So that's why I don't care. What is bringing in Caleb Williams going to do for the Bears? First of all, what is the last quarterback the Bears have developed to be a great quarterback? Everybody talks about, we could have got Patrick Mahomes. We could have got Patrick Mahomes.
But
What
they
good would
probably
that have
would've ruined
done?
him too.
Patrick Mahomes probably wouldn't be the Patrick Mahomes he is if he does come to Chicago. So that's what I'm saying. The problem is much deeper than any coach. So go ahead, fire the coaches, hire the coaches, cut the players, sign the players. It's going to be the same result because it's a cultural thing. So that's what people need to understand. So that's why every year it's the same. It starts at the head. That's where I'm at with it. That's why I don't even really care because this is like, I know what the result is going to be. regardless of the players, regardless of what you do. You know what I mean? So once it starts, there's some changes within the organization, then we'll probably see a change of culture and we'll see some winning. But I don't see anything. I don't see the difference. I agree. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. should be the draft pick. We shouldn't get rid of the quarterback because guess what? Now what? We get Caleb Williams. We trade out Justin Fields. Now what's the plan? You know what I mean? Like what? How much more production is he going to give in that system other than Justin Fields? Like, so I don't know, man. I
also saw some stuff about like what other teams would offer for Justin Fields, and it was like they were offering.
I guarantee.
But why would they be offering?
Yeah,
those things?
I hope that
exactly because they
Why?
want him,
Because
and they know
want
how
it,
good
because
he
they know he
is.
could be
They
so
know.
good.
Yeah.
I guarantee. I want it to play out that way. I'm not a hater for the Bears. I want the Bears to be good, but at some point we have to open our eyes and see that this problem is much deeper than the players. I want Justin Fields to leave and go ball somewhere so that it's proven like this is a good player, this is a great player, and the system is just bad. You know what I mean?
Who's the quarterback for the 85 Bears? I can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. Where's the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Jim.
I don't remember.
McMahon, whatever. Anywho, he said the same thing though. They asked him, do the Bears keep Justin Fields or do they draft a new quarterback? And he said, who's the owner of the Bears right now? He didn't even answer the question. He said, who's the owner of the Bears right now? The McCaskies, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to change anything.
Exactly, and that's where I'm at. I'm a cultural guy. Like I don't look at wins, and when I look at bad teams, I look at the organization. I don't look at the players or the coaches because they're like bottom level in terms of the success of the team. They're bottom level. Like they're interchangeable. I could get new coaches and new players all the time, but the owner, like the organization, like the front office, that's the important part. You know what I mean? So that's the issue that you deal with, like the players or whatever. You know what I mean? It's some organizations that get players all the time, different players, and they're still successful. You know, it doesn't matter who they draft; they're going to compete. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Speaking of culture, bringing it back to Nick.
Yeah.
What does the culture here? I know you mentioned you shouted out a lot of your coaches because you felt it helped with a lot of your development. But what is that? What is that true testament of the culture here, and how does it help with maybe your personality and your development as a human being, but also athlete?
I think just I think that my group this year really created a culture because I feel like a lot of times Highland was always, a team that lost a lot of games and we didn't do as well years before. And we were really the team that we were the guys that were talented, but we didn't, even with just the talent, you need to have some form of culture. And it was probably the guys a year above us too, that we're really starting to develop this winning culture that we want to win, and we don't just want to be average anymore. We want to compete with all these teams that we really haven't beat. And we play in a hard conference. The NCC is a very tough conference, and we wanted to win some of those conference games for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then going into the next level next year, what are some of the things that you're most excited for? And I don't even got to be for the sport itself. Maybe it's even the college culture as well. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to?
I'm super excited to just focus on what I want in school because I'm a very math-oriented guy.
Oh, I love math too.
Yeah, I'm huge on math. I took calculus as a sophomore.
Okay.
So I'm not in a math class right now because
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you
I
taking now? If you took calculus
I
as a
took them
sophomore?
all. I'm in physics 2 right now, AP Physics 2.
Bro, that's crazy.
It's a tough class, but it's probably my favorite class right now just because I really do enjoy math, and I'm really excited to be able to go into how do I say, like my major where I don't have to take any more English classes. Really, I could just focus on these math classes. So I'm going into finance.
Okay.
Which is something that I've wanted to do
That's
for a while. It's pretty
school to be going into finance.
Definitely,
with too. They got a good
definitely.
business program.
When I was on my official visit was awesome, and they showed me the business building, and it was just perfect. I really could see myself succeeding there, and also I can't wait to be in a position where I'm amongst a bunch of guys that were the best at their school.
Yep.
Just people that will.
It's that challenge.
It's that challenge because I have to be going the hardest.
Right.
Like I have to be the one that's working the hardest. So with a bunch of guys around me that also have that same mentality, I think that that's the biggest thing that I'm just super excited to compete in practice and then eventually with those guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you run faster with people that's faster than you, bro. You know what I mean? So
you run faster when someone's chasing you.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Exactly.
Yep. So what's your plan with like I mean, as far as your career goes, like if you don't, continue to play after college, like what's your career plan?
So I want to play football until I can't play football anymore, whether that be in a league somewhere else. No matter what, I have so much love for the game. I want to play until I can't anymore.
Yeah,
but
like
if
that.
not, I want to. So I'm not 100% decided on finance. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finance, but definitely into the school of business because I have a lot of interest in math and I'm super good with numbers. So I think that I could definitely, definitely be some sort of financial advisor for a company or a business or something like that. I would be happy with that, but I have a passion for the game and I just want to keep playing until I can't anymore.
So you're gonna figure it out some way, somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
It'll
I
come
like
Doesn't
that.
matter
for
what.
sure.
That's a winner's mentality, though, for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Is it any other guys that you're looking forward to playing with next year? Maybe some from the area.
So obviously TJ Caldwell from Calumet and then Hobart.
Shout out TJ.
TJ
I'm
for sure.
super excited to play with him. I've talked to him a little bit, and we're both really excited to go to Valpo and play at the next level. And then also someone that I competed against. So our main rival here is MUNSTER, but then we also Griffith is another one of our big rivals. And Connor Cervantes was a stud for Griffith. He's a year older than me, and he's at Valpo now. And that was actually my host for my official visit.
Okay.
So I stayed with him, and
So he can even be like a mentor for you when you get there.
definitely, yes.
Teach you how to navigate around and stuff.
Yeah, well,
So I'm super excited for that too.
Yeah, I'm loving the list continues to grow as far as college football, players that are from
From
the
the
region
219
area.
from the
Yeah,
region.
and then we had Kenneth Grant from Maryville. He was with Michigan. You know what I mean? D lineman from Michigan.
Oh yeah,
so,
I forgot about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So yeah, we got a national
Yeah, I
championship.
saw that all over.
So yeah, you know what I mean. Just I'm loving the growth and the success of the athletes in the area, and I just want them to keep everybody to keep going on and keep balling and let the list continues to grow. For the people underneath you, and hopefully everybody's setting that example. All the college guys are setting an example and the standard of football players in this area, because that's our main goal. Being in this area,
the culture,
the culture in the
culture
area,
of Northwest Indiana to be a place where you come out of high school and you can go Division I. You can play. You can eventually, play professionally somewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping that with me and TJ and some of these other guys from the region going to Valpo, that we create that culture there.
Yeah.
Guys are from here. They're staying in.
Yeah, they want to go there.
And people want to come from. I know that there was a bunch of kids that are at Valpo from, all over the country, like kids from LA, kids from Florida. And I like that they want to come to our region to play football here. I really like that.
Yep.
And I feel like we take it for granted. A lot of kids take it for granted that we have a Division I school right there that
40 minutes away.
40
Division
minutes away.
I.
Yeah,
So,
really ain't that far of a drive.
yeah,
at all.
not at all.
I, take
You know what I
Ripley, I learned to take Ripley South all the way. And
Yeah,
right in the heart of
it's an easy drive
downtown
too.
Valpo.
Yep. So like I hope you all have that success, and we definitely gonna come out to some games, see you and TJ play.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, I want Valpo to be successful, and I want it to be a funnel for the kids in the area and have 20 or 30 219 region guys on the
That are
roster,
staying in
and
the
then
region.
and
Staying
then
home.
you're all balling, going across the country, beating teams. That'll be great. So we definitely want to contribute to the growth of what you guys are doing over at Valpo and the program, and connect with the coaches and anything we can help with recruiting or getting guys to get over there. Like man,
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I feel like it's something that we could be doing.
Yeah,
more
we
to help
could.
with that
Yeah,
too,
we
for
could.
Not even just for the region over here, but just for like the whole area that we try to touch upon. Like, I really think it's something we could do, and that's maybe something we could talk about off camera.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good goal to have for yourself, to really get all the guys from the region to go there. Starting with and you being the enforcer along with TJ, along with a lot of other guys that you mentioned.
Yeah, there's a few other Indiana kids.
Yeah, I think so. I
that
think
are
it's a
coming there.
Maryville DB there or something like that. Yeah, so
A lot of kids from Crown Point that they have.
So it looks like it's already
it's going in there. Yeah,
I think they said they have kids there from 31 states, which is great. I love that kids are coming from all over. But I want a lot of these kids from around here to not count them out.
Yeah, yep. But it just comes with success. You know what I mean? Like that's what the kids look at. So you guys could be that start to the trajectory of it being, to be that type of programming, and we'll see it. A lot could change in 4 years, man.
Yes.
4
also,
or 5
I
years.
think Coach Fox is the coach to turn it around.
Yeah.
Because he is on you and that's the type of coach that I love to have.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know I mentioned him earlier, but Coach RJ, the edge rush coach, he coaches the D line and the edge rushers, and he's another coach where I can just tell, sitting down with him, going over some film stuff, he's gonna get on you.
Yep.
And I really like that, and I respect that from a coach, and I'm just super excited to allow those guys to coach me and create a phenomenal team.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Nick, man, really appreciate you for coming onto the platform.
Appreciate you having me.
That was definitely a great conversation.
Yeah,
we
for
got into
sure.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we did, man. That was
we got the pro ball, we got a college ball.
Hey, good way to start the year for us.
Yeah, before we end it off, since the college football championship just happened this past Monday, who y'all got for the Super Bowl with the playoffs starting this weekend?
Ooh, the Ravens are good, man.
The Ravens,
Be
bro,
more. Hey, I'm glad. Hey, I think everybody on the same
You
page.
know why?
with this
Because
one,
their
bro.
defense is stacked.
I ain't even gonna say nothing, man.
Exactly
I ain't even gonna
why.
say nothing. All
Hey,
right.
don't get me wrong, their offense is definitely
Offense is good.
electric.
I mean,
That
Lamar
defense is
Jackson.
crazy.
Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson lead that
Roquan
offense.
Smith,
Yeah.
bro, we had to get rid of him because we weren't gonna pay him. But
We should have just paid him.
nah,
Man.
we couldn't. We was rebuilding, and that
Man.
wasn't the guy Ryan Poles drafted. So it was like,
I guess.
but he's doing his thing. I'm happy for
Yeah.
him that he's in
I am
Baltimore
too.
doing his thing.
Yep.
Definitely.
But
Yeah,
I
but,
definitely got the Ravens.
I got
too.
beat more too, man.
So who y'all think they will meet in the championship from the NFC side?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
So I think it's not going to be the 49ers.
I was
I
thinking
mean,
maybe San
that's the
Francisco.
only team that I could think the 49ers,
But I don't
Definitely
think
not
the
Dallas.
Niners stand a chance against them either. I think
the Ravens?
I think the Ravens will win.
Oh no,
for
they,
sure.
they don't. Nobody. I don't think
anyone
anybody's
stands a
know.
chance
that
against
I
defense.
don't
Ravens.
know.
The Ravens started off the year. I didn't think that they were this complete, and then as
Because
they
they was
just
losing to weak teams
Yeah.
like the
But now,
Giants.
I mean, would they end 13-4? But the last game was it doesn't. You can
Yeah,
throw,
they
you can
didn't
throw
play.
that
Nobody
out the window.
played.
Yeah, they
They
said
had the
nobody
third
played.
string
Yeah.
quarterback in, so
Lamar
really,
got MVP on lock.
Yeah, so
yeah, he's. I saw the odds were like minus 50,000. for Lamar to get- I mean, they're not giving it to anybody else.
Yeah.
so
pretty much.
Yeah, I want to see that. but-
Definitely.
Yeah. But like once again, man, thank you for coming to the
Yeah,
platform.
thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, can't wait to see all of the great things that you do with your football career, and then outside of that, definitely, I feel like it's something that we'll talk about it off camera. I know I hit into it, but we'll talk about it. But I think it's something that we can put more of a spotlight on you too, with because I know you work out a lot now in your free time. It may be maybe we can discuss like even doing something that's like a vlog, like day in the life with you as well. But we'll see, and we definitely want to do that for a lot of the guys in the area as well.
Yeah,
But,
I'd be super interested in that. That's awesome.
Yeah. But this is the off-season podcast episode 13.
13.
I be forgetting sometimes, bro, so that's why I be scared. I'm like, 13?
Hey, no, for real. I watch other podcasts where they be like they're in the 500, 600, they like episode 630. I'm like, bro,
That's
crazy. How do you
630.
know? How do you get there?
Like
We gonna get there.
How do you
630,
remember all
like
that?
13.
Exactly.
Man, it's gonna be crazy. I think we're gonna get there pretty quick.
And it's going to, like I said, man, this year, we really finna put, we talk about it on the phone all the time. We finna put a lot of things into overdrive, man, because we getting a lot of traction in the area, and a lot of schools and athletes, are reaching out. And
There's a lot of talent in this area.
yeah, and there's a lot of talent. There's a
that
lot of
needs to be
talent that needs to be
spotlighted,
spotlighted.
man.
There's Northwest Indiana and then the Chicago area.
Yeah.
It's crazy talented.
Yeah.
Even when we was at the Andrew game yesterday, it was a freshman, number 32.
Yeah,
that just
yeah, bro.
It's kind of similar to you.
Yeah, yeah,
A guy got
exactly.
hurt, and he started his first game as a freshman, and he
Yep.
was killing.
Yeah,
Like, he had
bro,
like
yeah.
2 big threes.
Yeah,
at the end of
he
the
played
game.
well. I think he
Yeah.
ended with like 15 points, but that was
Yeah.
literally
As
his
a
first
freshman.
First
varsity,
game.
and they went
Varsity
against
game.
As a-
HF. So HF is like
it's one of the top teams in
HF
the
is
state.
tough. I've been
Yeah.
watching some HF stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they one of the top
so-
teams in the state.
So yeah, we definitely want to
phenomenal.
highlight him. I wish I
Yeah.
knew his name. I wish I got his name,
Yeah.
but we definitely gonna put something
Yeah, 'cause
together.
I was
for him,
talking to
but
one
yeah.
of the staff members, and he's like, "Yeah, that kid's a freshman."
Same
It's his
thing.
first
Yeah, I
game."
was on the
That's
other side,
insane.
and they were
That's
telling me, yeah,
outrageous.
but he
Yeah.
he stepped up big for them, like, and that was almost an upset. And we don't have to get too
Yeah,
much
we don't
into
got
it
too
because
much
it's not.
into it,
But yeah, that was a real good
Yeah.
game. I think that was
15
one of the
against
bigger.
HF as a freshman.
Yeah,
They-
he
they
got, he
are
has
number
nice
one
size.
in Illinois
Yeah,
right
that's
now,
what
right?
that's what some polls have them ranked as number one. But they're top
It's-
five.
It's debatable.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
for sure a top 5 team for sure. You
Most
got
definitely.
Curie up there, you got Thornton Steele there, HF. So it's a lot of Mont Carmel's there. So those are like the top 5, I would say, teams in the state right now. But yeah, they're pretty good. But they almost got upset by Andrew. They played really well. And Andrew only had 2 of their best players were out. So that's why the
crazy.
freshmen had to
Anything
come
can
in
really
and play.
happen in high
Yeah,
school sports.
Yeah,
yeah,
really.
that's
That's the
why
truth.
I love it, man.
Gotta love it, man.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
ain't gonna do nothing but just get more bigger. We're gonna continue to grow this brand,
Yep.
but also continue to provide spotlights on people that that needs to be provided a spotlight on. Because
sure.
It's a lot of people I feel like that go unnoticed.
Yep.
Maybe yourself can be included. A lot of the athletes in the area. So we're gonna continue to do that for sure.